When it comes to closing sales and closing deals, one of the biggest questions that I always get from people is, how do I handle objections? My name's Rich, and I've helped coaches as well as businesses like Dell, Intel and Samsung make over £30 million over the last decade. And at the thick end of the stick, those people and those businesses made that money because we taught them how to communicate effectively. And ultimately, that's what selling is. It's communicating. It's finding a way to communicate either the value or the outcome, the result that we provide for somebody. And experience tells me that we also need to convey this solution, this outcome or this result in a way where they feel like they've actually made the choice or the decision to go ahead with it. I'm sure even off the top of your head whilst you're watching this, you can remember at least a handful of times of where you've gone to buy something, but you've probably walked away, or there's been a huge turn off because the person that you've been talking to, or at least attempting to talk to, has been trying to ram that product or that solution down your throat. And it comes off desperate, and desperation usually pushes people away. So I just wanted to give you a couple of simple top level things that you can do in your communication to help weed out some of these objections that you may be getting. Now, one thing that I'm not going to include inside of this is your marketing. Your marketing, if done correctly and the right way for your business, your product, your niche, will remove a lot of those objections or a lot of those sort of curveball conversations that you might have with prospects. And instead, we'll just focus on a couple of things that are probably happening right now that you can solve really quickly to start weeding out the tire kickers from the people that are ready to do business. The first, and what I believe to be the most important part of a sales conversation, is framing that conversation up. So you and the person or people that you're speaking to know exactly where that conversation is leading. I often observe a lot of salespeople that just curveball pitch the people that they've got in front of them, and naturally that's going to bring up a lot of barriers and a lot of objections because people just weren't expecting it. So you can pre-frame in a couple of ways. The first way would be to frame up the actual sales call before you and them arrive on it. If you do selling in person, again, the same scenario, let them know ahead of time exactly what you're going to be doing when you get together. That way, you and them have got the opportunity to start figuring out any awkward questions or potential objections that might come up before you even start talking about what they need, what you offer, and what that might look like. So not only would I pre-frame the call itself before I arrived on it with somebody, or in person if I was going out to sell, face to face, I would also set up a frame once that meeting had actually started. Again, so I'm doubling down on letting that person know so it's very clear to everybody this is what is going to be happening next. And when we're looking after people, whether it's individuals, small businesses, or even larger organizations, one of the key elements this provides is a lot of time saved, a lot of heartache saved. Because what salespeople end up believing and then doing for a lot of years is that they have to be this thick-skinned person that just has to take a lot of no's. When in reality, if all of these situations were framed in a way of where the person on the receiving end of this communication knew what was going to be happening, they have all the rights in the world to say, you know what, this just isn't what I want to do right now. But you can see straight away from me explaining just the pre-framing element there, how the marketing can help to bring in the right people. So again, we've got a lot of time saved. I would personally prefer to fill a salesperson's calendar or diary if they're going out on the road with almost guaranteed closes than just back-to-back people that either don't show up for appointments or just have a ton of questions that could have been answered in the marketing anyway. Now the second, and this might seem really obvious, to you, but you got to lead with confidence. Selling is an exchange of certainty and confidence. If you have to falsify your confidence or your certainty for whatever reason, it might be personal reasons, maybe you're not a confident person, or maybe it's for reasons that you don't believe in the thing that you're actually selling. Both of those areas, or if there's another area, all need solving, all need bringing back to center center. So when you do show up to sell, there is this definite exchange of certainty and confidence happening. A baseline question that I've heard quite a lot, and I quite like this actually, is would you sell what you do to your grandma? Would you sell what you do and what you provide to your loved ones? I'm hoping you say, hell yeah, no problem. I absolutely love what I do. It provides amazing results, or it provides amazing solution for my customers. But that can also be a telltale sign to why salespeople, or if you're selling for your own business, why you might be unconfident or lack that certainty, particularly in the exchange of communication when you're attempting to close a deal. One thing to not mistake confidence with is arrogance. And again, I'm sure at some point, maybe more than a handful of times, you've met that arrogant, huge ego salesperson that you just couldn't wait to get away from. Don't be that guy. Nobody likes him. You've been great. I'll see you in the next one.